heading into our amazing tournament at EVO that we're going to have.
So, with this announcement was made on the EVO stream. And this is a story in 3 parts.
That EVO stream was hilarious.
This is a story in 3 parts, all right? First part. 1. Here are the main stage games at EVO 2018.
Oh, well, yes, this is interesting. Let's read through.
Street Fighter V, Tekken 7, Injustice 2, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Smash Melee, Smash Wii U.
Huh, that's weird.
There's no Marvel.
What?
Despite
Mr.
there being
Wizard,
a giant empty
a.k.a.
space, there is no more.
Because this is
I know.
Mr. Wizard, a.k.a. Joey.
AKA I hate Marvel.
He's not a big fan. And he did not hide it on Twitter over the last couple months. And of course, we've talked about this in previous weeks. So like
especially last week.
No need to recap, right? The point is that we've confirmed the reality that
Marvel's dead.
We predicted it and it's gone, right? Dragon Ball is here, obviously. This game is likely, I feel, possibly going to do the biggest numbers, and it might end up taking the Sunday final slot, which is the most important slot at EVO.
Yep. That one, I think, is less likely than the first statement.
Now, you do... One thing to consider here, right, about EVO is that a lot of their games are chosen not just based on community, but they're based on
stream numbers,
developer support, and viewer support.
Because with the whole extra ticket being a thing now, where you have to buy a second ticket to get to the Mandalay Bay main stage,
and it's more expensive than the other ticket.
The spectator cost is important.
Yeah.
Right? So consider that in mind while we go through this.
Yeah.
So obviously, Dragon Ball is going to be there, but what the fuck? That's not actually the game that kicked Marvel out.
No, it wasn't. It was Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle that kicked Marvel out.
Now, you're like, what? Why? It's like Dragon Ball. That's not even a contest. Whatever. We leave that alone.
Of course.
Why would Cross Tag Battle be the game that kicks out Marvel Infinite? Right? This makes no sense.
Well, EVO probably gonna want to be friends with our system works.
I think already having 2 of their games is pretty friendly. That's more than Capcom.
Right.
This is Anime-Evo. This is Anime-Evo for sure.
Anime is taking over, guys.
Now, here's the fucking thing, right? Because what I don't like is hypocrisy. So...
Yeah, you gotta get rid of one of those Smash Brothers.
They would if they didn't have the highest numbers.
Smash fans are legion, and they're crazy.
Dude, shout-outs to fucking that video of the
Keith,
guy.
Man, Keith, how everybody ran.
My God.
You fucking go look up his name.
Because there's a
so good.
Dude, because it's like, no matter what you say about Melee, that thing will be there forever.
Forever.
Fox McCloud. Armada Nation.
Mango Nation.
Fox McCloud. Mango Nation.
It's the bit where he goes, hey, Smash, you still like Marvel too? And he just goes, Mango Nation. Fox. Yes, Melee still loves the game.
Fox McCloud.
Like, oh, man.
Mango Nation.
I absolutely love the portrayal of the Smash 4 as
PPMD.
As a normal person. With his fucking
and it is untouchable.
What is that video called? It's by a guy named Keith.
And it's called How Everyone Reacted to Marvel Not Being at EVO. Yeah. Right? And it's like, but it's me, baby. It's Marvel, baby.
Not this
year, baby. All right, so look.
Oh, man.
Cross Tag Battle, right? This is coming out 2 months before.
It's crazy. We've had discussions on whether or not fucking Capcom games would be allowed to be at EVO, even if they came out in March.
Now, here's the timeline, okay? Cross Tag Battle is going to be fucking 4 weeks old when it makes it to the EVO main stage.
That's insane.
That makes no sense. That's ridiculous, right? But here's the thing.
New game.
If you choose to do this, that's fine. You can live in a world where new games are allowed to be on the EVO main stage, especially because they need the hype numbers.
The limit is 2 months before EVO anyway, right?
Well, here's the fucking problem.
Okay.
What's the limit?
I thought there was a known limit.
The limit is subjective.
The limit is what the fuck do we want it to be? Because guess what? Skullgirls, coming out 3 months before EVO 2012, was too new to be at EVO. So Skullgirls got shafted because it was too new.
I always thought there was a hard limit. They put you can't have, if your game comes out 2 months before EVO.
No, No, it is.
I didn't
Lab
know
Zero
that.
does not have the development support that Arc System Works / Sega Sammy / whatever has.
You might be thinking about the 2-week rule, which is new characters.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
You're
That's
thinking
what
of
I'm
new
thinking
characters coming out within
Okay.
2 weeks of Evo. Yes, that's what
Okay,
that is. That's different. This is the game coming out 2 months beforehand, right? Skullgirls got fucking shat on because it came out 3 months beforehand, but you know what came out a month before Skullgirls?
What's that?
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
And it made it in there. Why? Because Capcom paid for a bunch of stuff like PS4s and stuff like
It
that.
made it in with a March release, and it was fine.
No, it wasn't.
Well, no. It was fine for them to put it on the main
Yeah.
stage. So, what's the rule? What do you do? What's consistent?
The rule is Mr. Wizard doesn't like Marvel.
The rule is whatever we want it to be.
It's
and
always
it's like,
been that way.
I
though.
know.
This is just, it's one of those things. It's like, oh, this thing's corrupt. And people who know are like, yeah?
Yeah.
You didn't know it was corrupt?
So you know what else happened too? KOF got kicked out.
Yeah, that sucks.
You know?
The cross tag battle bumped KOF.
And KOF got kicked out because KOF had the least amount of numbers last year.
I mean, that makes sense. As much as we like KOF and as good and as solid as 14 is, if you are at the bottom of the fucking viewer
Yeah,
list, then-
I have had a genuine annoyance with, I've seen fans of Marvel who are dedicated to what is a good game to play and saying, look at tournament entrance. Look at, hey, the player base is there. It's
Absolutely.
like, yeah, but then look at where it is on Twitch.
Yep.
And like, it's behind, God, when I looked, it was fucking like behind Chaos Theory for the Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, no one gives a shit. No one watch it.
Now, you also have the fact that one, side tournaments are always a thing, but these are just the main stage games.
Yeah.
2, you have Evo Japan now, so there's a lot of outlets for these other games, right? Not every tournament can be Combo Breaker, because Combo Breaker just does it all and doesn't give a fuck. Combo Breaker is crazy. They run everything.
Have you ever been a combo breaker?
No, but I want to go because it's super nuts. And they have that was where they had the KI like giant pop bonus. They had the Skullgirls giant pop bonus officially supported. Like Combo Breaker does everything. But anyway, with this stuff going on right now, KOF gets booted as well, and they bring in these two games because, again, it's about spectators and that extra cost. So you're starting to see that it's not just the players and not just the community. It's really also about the
I mean, if you're going to put
the
on
eyeballs.
if you're going to put on a show,
Yep.
who's going to watch it is maybe the primary consideration, if not the second one.
But hey, right? If the players still get together and play Marvel and it continues to be a thing, that's fine, right? Because
No.
that's still a community.
No, stop.
At the end of the day.
I'm just being an asshole. Yeah.
Story
I think I know what the next
story in
is.
3 parts. Part 2. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite will not feature on the Capcom 2018.
And here's where all the arguing stops. It's like, listen, Capcom doesn't even want to fucking have their own game at their own tournament. Like, come on. The game might as well just be dead now.
Yeah, it's like actually embarrassing. This one.
This one is, yes, you're right. That's embarrassing that Capcom would drop it from their own event.
The Evo thing is it's its own thing. There's a million reasons, whatever. Some of them good, some of them like you're saying the double standard.
Marvel, Battle for the Stones ended on some weird notes, and people didn't have great things to say about
This
it.
makes me feel like there's not even going to be any DLC.
No.
Capcom representative confirmed that MVCI is not part of this year's Capcom Pro Tour, and they were silent when pressed about whether there'd be a second Battle for the Stones circuit. So here's the thing, right? Max has said it for a while too. This game is one giant patch away from being great,
Yes, it is AE away
needs
from
an
being
AE.
awesome.
and
It
it
absolutely
seems like it is already.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
Maybe,
Just de-emphasize this version now.
maybe, or they're
we're
just
just done.
Just wash your hands of
they're
it.
just waysiding it, right? Maybe it's like maybe it's this franchise needs saving and we need to start from the ground up.
So just pretend it doesn't exist until that happens.
And maybe you can blame Disney for a lot of it.
There
right?
has been rumors
Probably
that
can.
Disney is straight up like the game makes their shit look bad. Don't show it.
I'll tell you, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's That's
Yeah, but
I
it's
will.
fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I hate that actually because that reminds me of being inside a studio when you hear shit like that come out and you go, "This is the dumbest, stupidest thing that some asshole just made up to go like, isn't it fun to fuck?" And it's like you're so fucking off.
But it is fun.
It's incredibly stupid. I hate that kind of shit. It's dumb. What is possible, though, is that they were like, this is an MCU game.
Yeah.
So a lot of the game looks the way it does because of that. Because the MCU is the priority. So anyway, the point is that Capcom themselves is not supporting this on the 2018 run. If there is a new version of this coming, it's going to be a little bit further down the line.
Like, much further.
And it's going to have to be...
Like, maybe this year.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question is, do you relaunch or do you start... do you go just move on to the next?
If you relaunch it, everybody that owns that game better get everything like they did with AE. They better.
Oh, it would absolutely be about just correcting the slights.
Just change the name?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Fight Guys.
It would be about MVC.
Infinite.
Marvel versus X-Men.
Marvel versus Capcom functions.
Functions versus Capcom.
The world moves on to other fighting games, but if you bring this back, you bring it up in a corrective manner. So 100%, you let people who purchased it get the free pass.
That's the thing, is that like you have one pretty still relevant, video game company with a lot of relevant characters, maybe less relevant than they were in the 90s, right? But then you have like one of the biggest entertainment companies, like in terms of like brand awareness and stuff with Marvel and then all the MCU stuff. Like this should have been like spend all the money, let's blow it up.
It is crazy because the timing is so poor. Now that Marvel and Disney own Fox, if you were to start making this game now, you could have the greatest roster of anything ever of all time.
Markman literally said Marvel wouldn't let them support it. Is this based on anything?
Real?
Is that real?
Did I say that?
Yeah, because that sounds like a crazy inaccurate thing.
Is that real? All right. More research is required.
Okay.
So it is possible.
It's entirely plausible
that
if it's
this is internally from them their side as well.
If that's true, then that's like actually don't fucking have anyone look at this because we are going to relaunch it. We don't want people thinking. Like
let's remove MVCI from the mind share
because he just can't do
Markman
it right
implied it on his Twitter.
I guess he couldn't outright say that. Yeah, that makes more sense.
He would never be allowed to actually say that.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't work for any of the companies involved, he'd be fucking nailed to the wall and blacklisted forever.
Yeah.
But you can imply anything you want. I mean, right? You can say all sorts of shit.
You can imply anything. There was a hat for Marvel sitting under the table on that stream.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you, Wooly, and you looked at me like I was a psychopath. I'm like, no, Markman had a Marvel hat that he fucking hid away.
And Wooly, he was wearing a Imagine hat.
You're not going to be able to find that shit in the time period we're on the podcast now. You can
certainly not, but I was hoping to possibly scroll while talking was happening.
Yeah, and then
okay.
Then it would just be there.
That's okay.
But if that's the case, that's fucking crazy.
It's actually makes sense that then they would actually be putting the kibosh on it completely in order to have some sort of major project happening down underneath, down low.
You're talking about like, the what's that weird limit that they put on games now, and why can't Skullgirls get in? So you just scrolled past a picture of Soul Calibur 6, right?
Yep.
I think it's really asinine to try to get your fighting game that really needs a lot of like work in terms of like how do you handle the DLC and all that. Everyone has their opinions on and your story content, blah blah blah. It's really asinine to go like, let's get this shit out so we can make Evo. Like that should be your goal for the next year it comes out, because we're saying cross tag battle, it's going to have fucking less than 2 months to have any decent things going on with the scene.
There is a strong possibility that game comes out and everyone realizes it's trash or it is trash or whatever, and it's too late to change it.
Yep,
that's true too.
Entirely plausible.
What are you going to have, a fucking empty spot at Evo?
In fact, save this clip.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just in case.
Save the clip of me saying that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Because we played it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It was like,
rough.
It's going to be, maybe 9 months since we've played it when it comes out.
Maybe they changed the trash parts.
Maybe.
Because the problem is that, to me, I don't know if Willie has more to say, but I was like, it felt super generic. Like, why does this exist?
You can't walk. You can't walk.
Just dash.
What do you mean?
You hold forward
you run.
and you run.
Oh, that game's gonna be trash, dude.
Anyway.
This is gonna be fun.
So yes.
Bunch of
Like
KOF,
it felt like Capcom Fighting Jam.
KOF and Marvel players coming together to be like, we got bumped for this.
And it felt like Capcom Fighting Jam in the sense that, like, why?
The funny thing about the whole getting your shit out for Evo thing, though, we got to move on. But but the funny thing about that is that, of course, Evo was always the that's the date you have to worry about.
Yep.
The reset of the fighting game year takes place in June.
That's correct,
right? And the whole mentality of creating a Capcom Cup at the end of the year
Was to ignore that.
Was to actually straight up go, no, Capcom's doing its own finals. And this is the event that matters.
So even if it wasn't in time for Evo, look, here it is at the Capcom Cup. And Capcom Cup is big and huge and prestigious and
yes.
etc.
So the idea that like Capcom has its own possible non-Evo event to do its own thing at, but still chose themselves not to do it, is that's not the nail in the coffin. That's stomping the coffin down on top of the slow descender.
Yeah.
To get it in the ground faster.
And there's also a hand coming out of the coffin so it won't
6
close
feet.
completely.
Dig it back up and bury it deeper.
Furthermore, the comment that the Markman implied thing saying we need dev support and dev and publisher support, and we didn't get it from Marvel. It isn't Capcom's fault, right?
Yeah.
Is implying that no, they're actually possibly.
Hey, can we use these characters? Can you call us back? Can you, dudes?
Yeah. So it's weird and interesting in the sense that like Evo is still Evo, right? Like I said June, but I meant like July, August, whatever.
Yeah,
like summer. It's your summer fighting game year reset. Other events like Combo Breaker are becoming the finals for certain games.
Yeah.
And Smash has always had its own summits as well. And you know what I mean? Like these are all becoming
I should like to think that, like you said, like they support Killer Instinct. Yeah, they had it at their Combo Breaker last year when it got dropped from Evo. Well, it should be at the fucking tournament that has a name of one of its functions.
If KI was not at Combo Breaker, shut it down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's going to be when Soul Calibur 6 comes out, it might show up at Evo, but who cares about that? There's going to be some French tournament over in France.
You're right.
That's the actual Soul Calibur 6 finals.
Yeah, maybe.
Those Europeans are crazy about that weapon shit for some reason.
Oh, can I?